Obviously, the other fight, Sakio Bika, like I picked Sakio Bika. I knew Anthony Jarrell wasn't gonna have an easy thing, even though he buzzed him a couple of times. Like, it showed what he was made of, man. Like that was Sakio Bika. There's a dog, man. He should be called a dog. He just pull it to him.
Yeah, but that fight, man, that was some bullshit. Darrell won that fight.
What? No, man. No, he didn't. No, if that about the point deduction, Sakio would have won. So
I got my card right here.
Huh?
I got my card right here. Hold on. It's real simple. We're gonna go round by round because I was upset at that shit. At the very least, you gotta give that fight to Anthony Darrell by 1 round. But I had Darrell blowing this motherfucker out.
Nah, man.
He was countering everything.
He didn't have to win
no effective word.
He didn't want to win that fight.
Darrell. I had Darrell winning that fight too. I was very surprised at that.
Oh my god, man. Oh my days, man. Seriously, I couldn't believe you can't win a title like that running in the last round. How you gonna do that? Nah, man.
Oh man,
he celebrated is what he.
Nah, man. Look, man. You ain't gonna get no title like that, man.
So even if you give,
okay. So he lost the last round, but he still wins the fight because you have a point.
Exactly.
No. I'm just saying to you, like, not that. Beacon, I'm just saying on my scorecard. On my scorecard, on my scorecard, I knew it was gonna be a draw because it was close. Beacon was bringing it back, even though he got knocked down.
No, hold on, B. Please don't interrupt. Hold on. EJ, get your fucking card out and let's go round by round.
Nah, I didn't go round. Hey, listen, I started scoring after the 6. So I thought he was gonna be stopped. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. No, I'm not gonna be truthful.
Hold on. Put yourself on mute. I got some other callers here.
Oh, man.
Sosa, what's up? You're live in the boxing voice. Let's go.
Yo, what's up, man? Great night of boxing. I gotta agree with EJ, man. I don't think Darrell did enough in those last rounds. Like, right after that knockdown, he was just standing there in front of Bika, like, allowing Bika to push him against the ropes and just wail away to the body. He did not do enough to win that fight. I think that he lost by about 2 rounds. I don't have a scorecard, but
you had to.
from what I saw yesterday,
you the scorecard. That's exactly the problem. You guys just saying shit because you looking. You got to score a fight round by round.
My man,
you gonna see.
Hey,
listen,
from what I saw,
like something that somebody does in the fight. If someone's style doesn't appeal to you, or you don't like the fact that in the last round he hop, skipped, and jumped around for a couple seconds, you can't add that into the equation. You score using the 10-point must system, using the criteria for scoring, and that's the way it is. And then you add it up at the end of the fight. And if you add up the points at the end of the fight, I can't see Beacon winning this fight.
What?
I just can't.
3 rounds? Look, he got knocked down 2 points, and the point deduction.
EJ.
Yeah, go on.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
I got the answers. I got the answers. Listen, I got the answers, man. Yes, I have, man.
I got the answers, my friend.
All the way from the UK, I got the answers, man.
Fight.
Huh? I thought he was gonna get knocked out. Go ahead. Sorry, my friend. You go ahead.
Listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
You're right. You're right.
Yo, but
we're gonna keep asking the rest of the callers what they thought, and we're gonna see who's right or wrong. Because
come back to me though, because
both of you guys are crazy.
Nah, we ain't, man.
Darrell was bringing away at the body, man.
Yeah, man. Tell him, man. Hey, tell him, please.
154 pounds.
Yeah, he likes fighting.
I'm quite sure there's still will be a good fight for him, though.
Yeah. He likes fighting.
There'll be a good fight for him.
Irabura Shira, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, that fight's all wrong for Kirkland.
No, it's not. He likes fighting 154. Kirkland's a good fighter.
Yeah, I know, but GGG's different animals too.
No, he's
got great boxing power. He'll pick Kirkland apart.
No,
Kirkland is Stevens without a chin and less power.
Kirkland's a rolling over.
Right here, man. We got a panel full of blind people.
Yeah, if a motherfucker don't agree with you, they blind.
My man, it's not about agreeing with me. You just called the whole division bums. What the fuck is wrong with you? Daniel Gill's a former champion. Darren Barker's a former champion. Martin Murray, arguably, depending who you talk to, beat Sergio Martinez. Julio Cesar Chavez, he ain't a bad fighter. It's a lot of people at 160. Peter Quillen is a champion. What are you talking about? There's nobody there.
But Peter Quillen not even going to fight, man. You know they're not going to be able to fight.
Man, it's fighters. He didn't fight, Wood. He can't just lead a division. He got over 10 fighters he hasn't fought yet. He ain't done
And they
shit
won't
at
fight him.
160.
And they won't fight him. So what happens now? He waits until they.
Totally agree.
They don't want to
He
fight him.
makes them
They
fucking
will.
retire,
They will
Steve.
fight him when they show him the money. They're gonna fight him because there is nobody else out there for them to fight either.
Hey,
man.
Rob, outside of that,
Yeah.
if they don't want to fight him, they're going to have to retire because he ain't going nowhere.
Wasn't Martin
Exactly.
Murray mandatory at one point?
Golovkin just started his rise, man. He's not even to the top yet.
This is
Let him get
first
there
year.
first.
He only fought twice on HBO. Get your fucking eyes used to it. You're gonna see a lot more of him. Next year it's gonna be 4 fights on HBO. This year
the
was only
debate-
2 fights.
The debate started with should he fight Andre Ward right now. Andre Ward cleaned the fuck out of his division. There is
He's the
nobody
one that got
fucking
him
there.
up. He
Move
beat
the fuck
everybody
up.
at
He
160.
even already beat the light heavyweight champion. Why the fuck stay
He needs
down
to
if
be
he
fighting
already
the
beat the light
Kovalev.
heavyweight guy?
That's who they should be arguing to move up. You want to make
He said Ward need to move the fuck up. Nobody ain't listening.
man.
I said he need to move up.
What I'm trying to tell you is Martin Murray was Golovkin's mandatory, and he still avoided him. So he doesn't want to fight him.
You can't blame Martin Murray for that.
You
See,
talking about Felix Stern, man?
No, Martin Murray was his mandatory at one point too.
yeah, but you can't blame Martin Murray for that, babe. He's got to Germany and Argentina.
Well, if somebody's just mandatory and still, like, I agree he should fight. I think the Martin Murray fight's a great fight. I think that's a great fight. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be a good fight as long as it lasts, yeah.
And I think the Daniel Gill fight's a great fight. But both of those guys have turned him down. They were both offered
Big.
fights, and they said no. So
Yeah,
with
but I
that,
can see why, babe.
Oh, damn.
Real quick, though,
Hey, hold on.
With no fucking talent whatsoever, just a battle of who dick is bigger and who's got the biggest heart. There's no skill to fucking putting your life on the line. Come on, man. Fucking hating on Floyd Mayweather. Now you're gonna hate on Mayweather and Ward?
Listen, I'm not saying they're not fucking great boxers. They are. They're fucking skillful as fuck. It takes years to learn what they do.
Beeb, you take
Fair
over,
enough.
Beeb.
But it's
Beeb,
boring
you
as
take
fuck.
over. I can't with these people
But
today.
Golovkin's got to find better opposition than he's been fighting really, really poor opposition.
B, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about
Someone
Golovkin.
better than we don't even know
Okay.
this guy. You couldn't even pronounce this guy's name that he's fighting. I mean, he's
Okay, Beeb,
They
let me
gotta
tell
find
you something.
somebody better though.
Let me tell you something,
I
B.
understand where you're coming from, but they're going from one end of the spectrum all the way over to the other end. There's got to be some middle ground. I mean,
This is
you
his
gotta-
mandatory. This is mandatory.
Wow, that's amazing to me.
Remember,
Hey,
he's
man, the
a
niggas in the
2-belt
weekend
champion.
fucking division. He need to move.
He's a 2-belt champion.
He needs to
Remember,
move up. He needs
this
to
is
fight-
his
he needs to
mandatory,
move up.
right? Now hold on. You said that they need to do something with his opposition. You don't think that they are, Beeb? A series of punches 3 rounds before because he couldn't defend himself. He
You gotta
wasn't
understand
blocking.
something about people getting angry with Kirkland for throwing that punch. Kirkland has to throw that punch because he's got to do something to make this referee jump in there and stop the fight.
Yeah.
It's
And he did,
fine.
and Kirkland literally two more punches after Steve Smoke stopped it.
And the ref's not stopping the fight, so I've got to put an exclamation point on this, so the ref will stop this fight. I got to do something really drastic to get this fight stopped, and that's why he threw that punch.
Yep.
Man, it was horrible what took place, man. But let's see what some of these calls got to say. 315, you're live. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? This is Hoodway Dawson, man. Hey, man, I was calling, man, because of
What's your name again?
Alexander. Yo, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's your name again? We didn't hear that.
No, this is Hoodway Dawson.
Oh, Hook Right. What up?
Hey, man, it was Alexander, man. I was asking, do you agree that, like, the blueprint is out for, like, Alexander? So, like, basically the only thing you got to do is just put intense pressure on him?
Yo, listen, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion.
That's the thing. So I think so.
I don't even give a fuck if this is a blueprint for Alexander. I'm just happy he lost. because he was keeping that belt. He was keeping that belt hostage anyway. Yeah. And if he would have kept that belt, it was a possibility, a very strong possibility, that we would have to see him and Mayweather sometime in the future. And I don't want that.
My God.
I don't like people that.
Right.
I don't like people that clinch. I don't want to see you on TV. I like Alexander though. I like Cunningham. They got good relationships with me. They give me interviews. But guess what? I would so much rather Sean Porter be the champ. And I believe that Sean Porter is going to beat the shit out of Kell Brook. So Stuart Little.
Oh yeah. He's about to demolish Kell Brook.
Hey, I agree with you.
Stuart Little.
You really think Kell Brook will go through Porter?
That's another fight.
Kell Brook got wobbled by Shevchenko. Remember that?
Loads of fighters get wobbled. What happened though? He knocked Shevchenko out in the next round, clean out.
Sean Porter has a good chin.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Kevin Alexander wobbled every time he got hit.
My friend, hold on. Stuart Little.
Spartans! For glory!
Just remember this. Sean Porter has to negotiate by, I think, like February 9th. This fight has to be made as well. This should still happen.
Yeah, it will happen. And I'll be bringing up on the show on Sunday afterwards.
Stuart, let me finish, Stuart. This fight must happen, okay? And Porter is managed by Al Heyman, so this fight will happen. So if Kell Brook all of a sudden gets a magical injury again, you better disown him.
I will disown him.
All right.
If he fights Sean Porter,
that's why I wanted to talk about Barker when it's my turn, and I've got some words to say about him.
Let's talk about Barker right now because we need to switch up the subject a little bit. But I probably am going to disagree with you. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I think it was a horrible stoppage. I don't think Barker wanted to be stopped. I think that he was just blocking the shots the best he could because he had one less fucking hit. But I don't think he was as hurt as people thought.
He's retired.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I agree. I don't think he was hurt with the punches, but it seemed to me he didn't want to be in there from an early stage. It was just like, it was like the cowardly spirit of Andre Dirrell possessed him or something. Because he just didn't want to fight.
Stuart, I think he dominated that second round up until the knockdown.
No, man.
Yeah, I know that, but he just didn't show enough heart for me. I mean, I was very, very, very disappointed. I mean,
not enough heart. He got up. Do you know that his fucking his hip is really got dislocated?
Yeah, it's dislocated. He popped out.
What do you mean?
Until I see a medical report, I'm not making a major judgment.
He went to hospital. Like you see I saw the interview this morning. He's popped out. He's considering retiring, man. He's retiring. He's not having a rematch. He's done.
My friend, he got off the floor, I think 3 times with a fucking dislocated hip, and you're saying that he didn't show you enough heart?
No, I ain't say that. No. I ain't say that. Stuart said that.
You're an animal.
Stuart said that. I ain't say that.
Yeah, but that's my opinion. I just he didn't seem to want to be in there for me, and I just thought it was disgraceful, to be honest with you. I mean,
go on, Stuart. Go on, see you.
Like I said, if his hip did go, then fair enough. But at least let him get to the end of the round and see what is. I mean, as soon as any side of injury to that hip, he wanted out of it.
Still can't. Here goes some notes for you. Barker, who pointed at his hip after going down the second time, was limping and clearly in a major discomfort. The Londoner previously had 2 replacement operations. Yeah. He then was taken to the hospital after the bout to assess the extent of the injury. The motherfucker dislocated his hip, bro. He got up off the floor 3 times and he still didn't do enough for you. You're just a fucking asshole.
Ooh, you can't call him an asshole like that.
Listen, he tried his best.
Am I right here? Ned's getting all touchy about me slagging off a European fighter when we've had a year of abuse from him about the irony.
And he was being aggressive.
Devil's advocate this week. I mean, he's actually going against a UK fighter, and now you're jumping on for going against a UK fighter. This guy can't win. I
was disappointed because that was his first defence and it was a feeble effort. Okay, if he's got an injury and and it's that bad where he has to retire, then when I've calmed down, I'll probably forgive him for it. But right now, I'm pissed with him.
Who wins in a rematch? Who wins in a rematch?
There won't be a rematch. He'll fight Daniel Kiel. I don't think Darren Barker's got the stomach to come for another injury. I don't even think in this fight. I mean, I was saying to my friends in the build-up, he didn't seem to want to talk about Felix Sturm. He wanted to show Sky around his new house, showing the new Italian tiles and wooden floors. He just didn't seem to be up for this fight for me. I mean, he seemed to get his money. It's just like an easy way out. That's the way I see it.
That's a great point. You know why? You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. This guy had a tumultuous career, and he finally made it. That fight with Gil was closing the final chapter, turning the page, the final chapter. Anything else after that is a letdown. Stuart Little's right.
Yeah, he's done. He's right.
Hey, listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is that I'm just as gutted as Stuart Little because I hate the fact that Sturm now has another belt for hostage.
Oh. He's going to be... Darren Barker's going to be on Dancing with the Stars next. You watch.
Bet your life you will. Bet your life you will. Or in the jungle and get me a celebrity. I'm out of here. Whatever it's called. It'd be on that
talk show. You watch.
Harsh, man. Yeah. You guys are harsh, man. I'm with Nez, man. Like you guys are harsh, man. You guys are harsh, man.
They are, brother. They are.
Right. I love Darren Barker.
Me too. But it was shocking. It was just a shocking performance. I mean, Felix Sturm has 17 KOs in 44 fights, and he was making Darren Barker was making him look like Kovalev.
Hold on a minute. Let me switch up and get to some other callers real quick. Before I pick up another line, though, Beeb, I think that we should definitely touch on the significance of Laura Trout. We're talking about 2 top 10, 150. He'll treat him like a champion. He ducked someone. Floyd Mayweather does it, and you guys get mad at him. You call him all types of names. They fucking create words. If you're a fan, now you're a Flomo. If you're not, you're a pack chart. So why we can't do the same to Ricky Burns? He ducked blatantly twice, and now he can run. But he can't hide no more.
Ricky Burns, and he lost to Beltran.
Of course he lost to Beltran, but he fucking had a broken jaw for 10 rounds, as Stuart just said.
Beltran broke the jaw.
Deaf. Stuart just told him.
I gotta give a shout out to these UK fans. You know why I like these UK fans?
I don't want to go over old ground, man, but this is my heart you're talking about. This is my friend.
And on top of that,
everybody's ducking boxing, man.
Listen, man. I hung up on all of y'all.
Fans in the world.
Y'all either gonna learn to not just interject, or you're not gonna be on, man. I'm not gonna be going through that every day. Anyway, Beeb, so
UK has the best fans in the world, man. They stand by their fighters. I love UK fans.
They do.
They're the best fans in the world.
Seth,
if I was a boxer, man? I'd have all my fights in UK. I'd have at the phones for all my fights.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I just want to say a few things.
Hold on, Seth.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I haven't heard Seth in a long time. I miss Seth.
Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, so I was actually live at the fights for the HBO fights. You know, as you know, I'm a big Kirkland fan, and I actually ran into Vic. I met him for the first time. And overall, I think it was a pretty good card. Got a little bit of everything, like pure boxing skill and a lot of action. But I just want to say, I've been to, a handful of fights. I've been to quite a lot of fights, and I've never been to a fight live where it was that violent and brutal. And it was just, like, really crazy to see. And I could tell that fight was going to change Tapa's life forever, man. That guy went straight to the trauma center right after that. That guy was beat to shit. And the worst thing is, I knew it was going to happen. I even called on the show and I said that Kirkland was going to fuck that guy up. And you said that's fucked up because you're from Jersey. And I'm like, well, the truth is the truth. Well, that's what happened. And I think his handlers made a mistake. He just couldn't fight what they gave him. That was too much too soon, man. I don't like what they did to him. They just kind of ruined him, in my opinion.
Ness, do you remember that fight we went to with Edward Rodriguez and Jason Escalera? That was a brutal beating too, remember? Escalera could barely walk out of the ring and stuff. His hair was practically hanging off. That was a horrible fight. That fight should have been...
That was not a good fight for Tapia. That was really not a good fight. I don't know why they did that. Maybe Top Rank had a lot of confidence in Tapia.
Do you think that's career ending for him? Seth, what do you think happens?
Well, it's reported that he checked out. Hold on, Seth. it's reported that he's checked out A-OK from the fucking hospital, but I just think that there's going to be long-term damage there. He took too many unanswered shots for too many rounds.
What do you think he does? Do you think he has second thoughts about doing this anymore? What do you think it's his mental state is right now?
We'll find out soon enough. That's Vic's boy. Vic, you know, as you've seen on the videos, Vic was going to the gym frequently and stuff. I'm pretty sure we'll get some inside info on that, but you know,
I do believe it is going to affect him, and he is having second thoughts for sure. That's 100%, and I doubt he will ever be the same or reach the potential that he could have possibly reached. Even though, you know, I was never high on him in the first place, but maybe he could have made for some good fights if he was handled properly. And I just feel bad for him because I was sitting ringside, and I believe a few of his family members were sitting not too far away from me, and you know, they were like crying and stuff, and I just felt really bad, and I just wish they kind of handled him a little better. He's a young kid too, which is it's not good.
Seth, let me ask you this: when you say handle him better, meaning stop the fight earlier, or not put him in there with Kirkland? Because let's
not put him in there with Kirkland. I mean,
why though, Seth? He has 20 fights. He has 20 fights. He has to step up sometime. No, look at Demetrius Andrade. He has 20 fights. He's a world champion. They turned pro the same year, him and Tapia. I mean, you know, I can understand what you're saying.
Tapia could have fought someone like Willie Nelson or Vanes Martirosyan, or you know, someone like that.
Yeah, but Seth,
would have been different.
Hold on, B.
The result would have been that much different with them guys.
Hold on, B. I do think that it would have been different with them guys, and I get what Seth is saying, but Seth, what you're not understanding is that Bruce Trampler is very good at what he does, and not all the time does it go the opposite of what he thinks. And they were banking on the fact that James Kirkland hadn't fought in over a year, the fact that he had some mental relapses, the fact that he went up to 210 pounds in weight. They were factoring all that in to make a name for Tapia, but it backfired, man. It backfired.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% because, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about this is, think about it. They waited almost 10 years to have Vanes Martirosyan step up, but they only waited like 2 or 3 years or 4 years tops for Tapia to step up. You know what I mean?
Well, because they seen better stuff out of him than Martirosyan. That's what I'm saying. Martirosyan struggled with Uma. Martirosyan struggled with Saul Roman. Martirosyan, even though he was a declared amateur, that motherfucker was a bum.
Yeah.
He was fighting bums.
But same with Tapia. Tapia was fighting bums too. The Asian guy that he beat that was undefeated.
But he was handling bums.
He was a bum.
Yeah, but he was handling bums.
In the amateurs.
He was handling the bums. Fucking Martirosyan was going mad decisions with bums.
Ness, did you see that last fight on Friday Night Fights?
Yeah, that was a little war. I know, but you know, listen, you know,
can I say something, man?
Yes, but you guys can't keep interjecting like
I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt. I just want to tell the Chinese man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off, right? But but they put him in there too soon because they thought Kirkland was a drunk and drinking that syrup, and they thought he was off for that long time. They thought he could easily take him, and he fucked that kid up.
Yeah.
They slept on him, man. They shouldn't have slept on him like that.
All right, let's change the subject anyway, man. I want to talk about Friday night's fights because we got to touch on that, man. J. Leon Love, Badu Jack, Mickey Bay, Luis Arias, Chris Pearson, Ashley Deal playing everybody. And I also want to talk about some stuff that took place yesterday. You know, I had Jesus Christ, man. So I'm hanging up on you with that feedback. Yesterday, man, I did an interview with Adonis Stevenson. He's still very adamant. He still wants Bernard Hopkins, but Bernard Hopkins made it clear that it doesn't matter what Adonis Stevenson wants. If he's working with HBO, there's no way that fight can happen. So, B, do you think that we do get Kovalev Stevenson next
I told you were getting that next. Everyone's sitting there saying this guy's ducking this guy, whatever. Fight's happening next. Don't worry about it.
So again, with the significance of last night's fights, Sakio Bika keeps his title. I did an interview with Badu Jack, who, scored a 6-round TKO in the super middleweight division on Friday night on the Mayweather Promotions Showbox, which felt like an all-black fighter card. I guess Floyd Mayweather is going to be the all-black fighter promoter. I mean, I know that he has Luis Aries Jr., who's a Cuban from Milwaukee, but he has more black fighters than normal promoters have, rather. And that's cool. He's giving these young guys outlets, inner city guys, and we got to see Jay Leon Love back in action. But I wasn't impressed because he was fighting Lujan Simon, a dude that had just been getting beat by like Abraham and Sylvester, and that was his claim to fame. I know Gennady Golovkin stopped him as well. I remember back in the day, arguing with a former co-host about how not skilled Lujan Simon was. And he proved that versus Jay Leon Love. But these were, let's get this straight, Beep. These were all showcase fights on Friday night.
Absolutely.
That's the power of Floyd Mayweather, that he's able to get all his fighters showcase fights just because he did this deal with Showtime. If you notice, there was no Golden Boy banner. This was a totally TMT Mayweather promotion.
I was noticing that. I was looking for that, and I was surprised to see that, and I was kind of happy to see that because a lot of people criticize Mayweather for not putting on his own shows, and I think this was a 100% Mayweather show.